Thank you for doing this on such last minute notice. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, well, thank you for the opportunity to let us interview you on behalf of Photos from the Pit.
Yeah, I feel like have we done something together before already?
I haven't, but my editor probably has, Josh Chaikin.
Possibly, yeah,
Yeah,
maybe
I
a
know
few
he's
years
covered you
ago.
guys quite a few times.
Okay, then that's because I recognize that
Yeah.
that publication. So that makes sense to me. Can you hear me okay? Is it
Yes,
clear?
ma'am. No, it
Okay,
sounds good.
cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool.
So
Right
you
on.
never get rest, do you?
No, never.
When does your
But that's
tour
okay.
start?
We head out Thursday.
Thursday.
Yep, day after tomorrow. So, first show is Friday.
Okay. And
Yeah.
that's where at?
First show is going to be in Albuquerque,
Okay.
and then we head out to Dallas, then San Antonio, then Houston.
So Sunday in Dallas?
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah.
Let me see. I don't know which way is up today. Right? That's how it
Yeah.
is. Dallas is the 27th. So that is Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll be there.
Okay, cool. Awesome. At Trees.
Yes. So is this your first headlining?
It is. It's our first headlining. Super excited.
Yeah. I
You
know you
know,
guys started out like at biker rallies and stuff like that. So your stages are just getting bigger and bigger. So when that happens, does that let you just expand on your creativity and just get bigger and bigger shows?
absolutely. Yeah. With anything, the more you grow, the bigger you get, the more things you do. If you're not growing or evolving, you're probably going to die out. So that's kind of the goal.
Right.
But yeah, you're right. We did get our start in biker rallies. And I'll always be grateful to them for that because that was when nobody else would give us a chance. So
Right.
it's kind of our roots and they hold a little special place in my heart.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So do you have a stage or anywhere that you want to perform that would be like your bucket list?
I mean, the sky's the limit, right? Madison
Yeah.
Square Garden. That's what
Yeah.
they say, right? Like, today I'm in Trees, up here I'm in Madison Square Garden. Yeah, I love I want to play in every house of blues, all of them.
Okay.
I just love those venues. I think they're great. And especially for what we do, they're always like the perfect size. They always have the perfect amount of production that we can bring in. So I really like them. I would love to knock off every house of blues out there. That'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, I've been to the one in Dallas. I like it a lot.
Cool. Very cool.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
So, what about like a Super Bowl halftime show? You to perform with your own music this time.
My God. Super Bowl halftime show would be something else, man. I don't know. I don't think I'd want to be honest. I don't think I'd want to do a halftime show. I think
Done
it's
your time?
I did well, I've done my time. Yes, but I also think, you know, on a in a stadium like that big of a show, I don't know. I really have a soft spot for smaller shows, like that 750 to 1,000 range, theater
Right.
range. That's my favorite. Because even when we play really big festivals and stuff, and it's like, 20,000 people, 30,000 people, 40,000 people, it's really hard to connect with people when there's that many of them and they're that far away. So I
Right.
kind of like them a little closer.
I understand that. Well, you
Yeah.
get some shows like that this year, right? With the festivals you've been added to.
Yes. So we're going to be at Louder Than Life in September. I think it's end of September. And then we're going to be at Aftershock in early October.
That's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
so you're the director and the founder of Cherry Bombs. Are you the only one that choreographs your
No,
performances, or is there other people?
other people. So when it comes to choreography, I'll do some. I bring in other choreographers. I work with a lot of different choreographers. Members of the group choreograph. Sometimes we collaborate together. It's a huge mishmash of material done by a lot of different people. And I like it that way because it keeps things fresh. Things don't look the same. It's kind of like writing with music. It's always good, I think, to collaborate with other artists because it can switch things up, switch styles up. And that way things don't feel a little complacent or stagnant.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, I understand that for sure. When you do choreograph, is there any style of dance that you tend to lean towards on what you have in your performances, or do you kind of just has it grown over the years to your own style?
So there was a period in my life where I was actually really into hip hop. Like I was really deep into hip hop dance.
Yeah.
And I love that style. Like there's a deep in my heart, there's a big part of my roots that's in that. We do mostly heel choreography, what's considered heel choreography. So for people who don't know what that is, it's like what Pussycat Dolls do.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's kind of like that. So I like blending that. And I also love choreographing with props. So I do a lot of the fire choreography, or a lot of the prop choreography that you see in our show, because they're challenging and they're fun. And, how can we make these tools appear in different ways and what kind of shapes can we make?
Right.
Yeah.
I'm a prop handler. I'm on my 6th or 7th year as a dance dad. So
Really?
yeah, I have a daughter that's in college. She does dance. And then my youngest, she does dance. We were actually at a dance competition all day Saturday.
Okay. So
So
you are tried and true dance dad. Like you are
yeah,
in it.
yeah, I'm like one of the lead guys to get the props out. Hey, come help with this. And yeah.
Man. So you know what it's like.
Oh yeah. That's why when he told me about interviewing you, I was like, okay, I got some questions about some dance stuff.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And it's so funny. We still need dance dads, like we have techs that work on both sides of our stage that hand us things and help us
Yeah.
do quick changes and, all kinds of stuff. So you play a very important role. Your daughters are very lucky.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a lot sometimes, but I like it. And I see that you've been doing it for your whole life. So I guess it just continually grows and change things and improve your performances through the years.
Yeah, yep. I've been doing it since I was 3 years old. Started it in the dance studios as a kid and started doing dance competitions just like your daughter.
Yeah.
Um, and then when I went off to college, I stopped dancing actually, and I really missed it. So I wanted to get back into it. And I picked it right back up again. All those years of training, they never really leave you. And then that's when I started in the NFL.
Okay. Yeah, they do the for my daughters are in the drill team and in the school, so they do the halftime show at the football games, and then after football season, it's competition season. But
Right.
like you, my oldest daughter, we have her tutu from when she was in like pre-K framed
Mhm.
next to her last
Wow.
senior jersey in her
Oh,
room, and
that's
then
very cool.
my youngest is the same way.
That's
So
very, very, very cool. That's
yeah,
awesome. Yeah, dance is one of those sports that's year round. There is no real season for dance, it's always on, no matter
yeah,
what. So yeah, it's tough, man. It's never ending, but it's a passion, I think, that lives with people who do it
right,
forever.
yeah. Because my oldest daughter, she took her first semester of college off, and then
Okay.
this semester she got back into dance because she
Yeah,
just
sure.
missed it so much.
Yep. Yep.
So,
It's
and I
very
know y'all
special.
probably don't get enough credit, but y'all are true athletes.
Oh, well, thank
Like
you.
I don't even know how you guys can do that. I don't know what kind of preparations you would take for yourself to be in performance condition all the time, or if there's a regimen that you keep to make sure you're always ready.
You have to, man, and especially as you get older, I'm 37, so my body is starting to really feel it these days. I've got some disc issues in my neck from all the years of dancing, and so it's some Tylenol and a lot of stretching and I take longer to warm up than I used to.
Yeah.
I do body work like massage and stretch. God, almost every week. We have to work out. We have to do sprints to keep our cardio up, right? So all the girls and myself, we're always training. We're always lifting weights. We're running. Yeah, man, thank you for that recognition, because we make it look easy, but it's not.
Yeah, that's what I tell my friends when they ask me. I'm like, man, my daughters, there's no way I could do some of the stuff they do for dance, because sometimes we get to go in there and watch them warm up and do all that. And I'm just like, man, I'd be falling over. I'm over 40. So I'm like, I ain't even trying.
And they make it look good too, right?
Yeah,
Like,
they make it look easy.
and easy. Yeah. And that's the goal. If you made it look easy, then you've done your job right. If,
Yeah.
and you want it to be impressive still, but you want it to look clean and smooth. And I think that's where the professional part comes in.
Yeah. I'm really excited to see your show. It'll be my first time seeing it live.
Oh, good.
So
Good.
me and my wife will both be there. So we're really excited to see that,
Killer. I love
especially
that.
because the fire and everything else that you bring into it.
Yeah. I can't wait for you guys to see it too. I hope you like it. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's different. This one's more of a production, I would say, than what we've typically done in the past.
So kind of a
So
storyline to follow.
yep, there's a storyline to it. The wardrobe is more elaborate than anything we've ever done. People would see cherry bombs in the past and just say, oh, they're scantily clad, they're super sexy. This one feels more about the artistic side of it. So, my aerialists are in these really cool bunny costumes, almost they look like from Donnie Darko,
Okay.
where they're like covered in lace and it's like white and skin colored lace, but they're completely covered. Even their whole faces are covered, like you can't see their eyes or anything. They look so creepy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but they're doing these, they do aerial, so they're in the air and they're just doing these remarkable things, and it just looks like this otherworldly character. So I've had a lot of fun creating this show and exploring, different boundaries as far as the artistic side of Cherry Bombs goes.
Okay. Yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds exciting. So it's the macabre.
Yeah, you said it right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So were there any, did you develop any new routines during the pandemic
We
for your
did.
shows? Was it hard to
Yeah.
get those rehearsed with the strict lockdowns?
No, in fact, it wasn't. So how that came about was during 2020, everybody was home. The entertainment industry has completely shut down. Las Vegas has completely shut down. I mean, the strip was dead. It was crazy to see Las Vegas, just not a person in sight. The lights are out. It was wild. Corey, my husband, was shooting. Well, he had created his album. He had recorded his solo album during that pandemic, and he was shooting a music video for CMFT. And he said, I'm going to do this. Do the Cherry Bombs want to be in it? And I said, yeah. So one of my girls, Kim, who's been with me for 7 years now, she's out in Vegas with me. I said, Kim, I got to round up a bunch of dancers to do this music video shoot. We got to choreograph for this. She goes, okay, let me reach out to a bunch of my friends that I've, worked on the strip with. And she brought together this group of people that just meshed really well. We worked really well together. I taught them the choreography for the music video. We shot it, and everybody was so grateful because this was the first time we were able to work by that time it had been maybe 6 months or so.
Yeah.
And we were like, man, like, this is awesome. So I said, okay, I'm going to finesse this show that I'm working on. Do you guys want to be a part of it? It's going to be called Macabre. I'm writing it. I'm putting it all together, and I'm putting all these routines together. Do you guys want to do it and film it and create like a movie? And they were like, yeah, let's do it. We're not doing anything else. So it was almost kind of the perfect time for me to build the Cherry Bombs Las Vegas group, because we had just moved from Atlanta, Georgia, to Las Vegas like a couple years before that. And I didn't really have any dancers in Vegas at the time. So in a weird way, the pandemic really dealt me kind of a nice hand in that I was able to form my core group here during that time, because they weren't working anywhere else. And they were available and
They
willing.
and
Yeah,
ready to work.
ready to work. Yeah. So I was able to create Macabre, the movie, if you will. And then we live streamed it, you know, in January 2021. And then at that point, it was like, let's see if we can take Macabre live instead of a movie format. Let's make it live as the show. And I've just kept these girls this whole entire time, and they've all worked out really well.
Well, that's awesome. It looks like you came out positive, and when everyone else was thinking negative.
Yeah, I think that's really important. I think how you perceive things can really have an impact on how you feel about things, and if you can make something happen. You know, the pandemic sucked, okay? Like
Yeah.
everything sucked about it. And for more reasons than just this virus that was going around, right? Like 2020
Right.
was very volatile. It was very emotional. It was a lot of things were happening. We won't have to get into it, but um, you know, I'm a firm believer in adapt or die. And we were dealt, all of us were dealt a shitty hand in our industry. And I was like, how the fuck are we going to keep this going? Like,
Yeah.
how can we create? How can we still create? How can we still give to our fans? How can we still do things? And so that's when the film came about. And that's when we shot Girl Gang. And then that's when, you know, Corey and I joined heads and figured out how we we're going to be able to tour for as the first group in rock, you know, to do it. So yeah.
I've been watching your girl gangs.
Oh
I like
yeah.
those. Yeah.
What do you think?
I like them so far. I
Yeah.
just started them, and yeah, me and my wife were watching them the other night. But it almost
Okay.
seems like you went from Atlanta, came to Las Vegas, and with the pandemic, you have a rebirth of the Cherry Bombs, and you're going to just continue to grow from there. Because it sounds like you have your core group of girls that are really good, and you are just going to continue to grow.
I hope that's the dream. That's the goal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I hope you're right. But yeah, we did kind of have a rebirth. I would say so.
How would you describe your show? Because I've heard it called burlesque or heavy metal burlesque with sideshow. How would you describe it?
I would describe it like my go-to is if you were to take the Pussycat Dolls and Cirque du Soleil and put it to rock and metal music. We are not burlesque. Burlesque
Okay.
is known as the art of the tease.
Okay.
So it is a form of strip tease where it's like a peel off, like a burlesque dancer will come out and she's wearing a bunch of layers or feathers and, you know, gloves and corsets and stuff. And her whole thing is, you know, taking it off finger by finger and then doing that and then finger by
Okay.
finger. You know, I'm sure you've seen it. Dita Von
Yeah.
Teese. She's burlesque. That is burlesque. We are not doing any of that. We are doing, it's more choreography based. So it's just dance. It's just dance choreography. It's heel choreography, where you do dance in heels. So yeah, it's definitely not burlesque. And I know that's a common one that's thrown around a lot.
Right.
But yeah, no, not
So it's
burlesque.
just a heavy metal Cirque du Soleil dancers.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't see
Heavy
how you
metal
could do that in
circus
heels.
in heels, very carefully. Well, if you get
Yes.
through Girl Gang season 1, you'll see it came to bite me in the ass.
Those are a lot of safety precautions and checklists you guys have to go through for every town and venue.
Yes, there's a lot. All of the members of Cherry Bombs are fire safety trained. I train them myself. I put them all through a lecture and a practical, and they all have to do a written test and a practice test with me where they have to demonstrate all the safety requirements that we do, all the protocols that we have in place. And so we do that because we work with fire so much. And I just want to make sure, you know, when something goes wrong, not if, but when, that everyone in my team knows what to do. And we don't have anybody just, you know, looking around like a crazy person not knowing anything, you know? So it's just really important that safety comes first, especially with the fire and especially with the aerial that we do, because these are lives are at stake, you know?
Right.
Not only that, I have a reputation to uphold. So the last thing we need is to burn a venue down and then we'll never get hired again.
Right.
I meet with fire marshals in every city. I do walkthroughs with all of them. We have great relationships. They watch our entire process and yeah, that's something we take really seriously and a lot of pride in.
That's really awesome. Y'all
Thanks.
don't just show up and perform. You have to do everything.
We're just going to wing it. Yeah.
Yeah. Just wing it.
Sometimes I'll joke. I'll just hold the fire marshal, like, you know what? This is our first time, our first show ever.
Yeah.
They're like, no, just kidding. We also have a $5 million insurance policy, so that helps too.
Oh yeah, I bet it does.
Yeah. But,
So your whole family's performers, right?
I'm sorry.
Is your whole family performers?
No, no.
No. No, I mean like not what you do, but just in general.
Oh, so yes, my husband obviously is a performer.
Right.
Griff.
Don't your kids have a band?
Griff has a band. Yes, he has a band called Ben Dead with
Okay.
Clown's son as well. And Clown's son is the drummer and Griff is the singer. And that was a band formed a few years ago as a group of friends from high school down in Des Moines. So they're still doing it. They just released their EP not too long ago. They're about to go out with Code Orange and a couple other bands. But I know they're going out with Code Orange in March or April. I'm sorry, they're going out in April. Griff's coming here soon. So yeah, super stoked for him. He's killing it. He's doing so well. I'm so proud of him. Like he just sounds amazing. And
Yeah.
he's learning the ropes on stage and, you know, feeling it out. And he's just kicking ass. I'm so proud of him.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's so awesome. Yeah, I have to check them out for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Definitely.
always love trying to find new music. Always trying to find new music to listen to.
Yeah, they've got really good stuff. If you like it heavy, I think
Yeah.
you'll, okay. Yeah, check them out. Ven Dead. They're on Apple iTunes, they're on Spotify, all that stuff.
So after all your performances you've done throughout your life, do you still get nervous before you go on stage? And do you have any pre-show rituals that you go through, or like what's your day of?
Well, the day of a show, I'm usually running around like a crazy person, trying to get everything set up and all the girls taken care of. And, you know, up until this tour, I was the tour manager. So, you know, I was the tour manager and production manager and manager and everything. So, I'm really don't have a ton of time for myself to get myself performance ready. I'm mostly focused on them and making sure they're good and taken care of. And then I just send it, I just go.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of what my day typically looks like. Now on this tour, I have a tour manager and I'm so thankful because she's so amazing. And so this time I'll take more time to stretch and warm up and get in the zone. But nervous? No, I wouldn't say nervous. I would say excited. I would say you can feel the adrenaline kick in right before you go.
Yeah.
But once the music starts, you let that kind of guide you through the show. Because our show is to one giant track. So we have like a 75-minute show and it's a 75-minute track that doesn't stop.
Wow.
Yeah. So we don't really have time to like think too much. We're just so well rehearsed that the music drives us to the next thing that we do. We don't have time to be like, oh, I'm not ready, guys. The music's not going to stop. Like it doesn't stop, it goes. And we have to just go.
Right.
Yeah.
So is it just all different bands on your soundtrack, or is it?
Yeah, it's a bunch of different bands. We've got Spirit Box in there, we've got Rammstein, we've got White Zombie, we've got Motley Crue, we got Suicidal Tendencies. What else do we have? We have the Misfits, we have Rage Against the Machine. I threw a Chris Isaak song in there, so that's kind of random.
Wow.
Yeah. There's 9 Inch Nails. So yeah, it's a whole mishmash of rock and metal and punk.
Oh wow, it is. I like that.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
cool. There's something for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So has the audience and fan reactions been different now that you're going to be headlining versus a supporting act?
Well, I'm not sure because we haven't started it yet, but I'll find out. I mean, I imagine the cool thing about being a headliner, and again, I can't really speak to it yet because we haven't started it yet, but this is what I gather is that when you're a headliner, those people usually come to see the headliner, right? There'll be some for openers too, absolutely, but the headliner should be the main draw. So I'm curious to see what the reaction will be on this one. Is it going to be bigger than when we were support for all the rest of the years that we've done this? Is it going to be the same? Is it going to be worse because we suck? I mean, like, I don't know. I really don't know what's going to happen out there. I hope it's good. I hope they like it, this show. I know every other time we've performed in front of a live audience, especially when people don't know who we are, we win them over. And that's a really cool feeling. So I hope we just continue to do that.
Yeah, I'm sure you will.
I hope so. Well, I'll have to ask you since you haven't seen us live. And
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. I've been reading a lot of reviews of your shows and everyone seems to love them.
Oh, good, good.
So,
that makes me feel really good. No pressure or anything, but
so is there any performer that you have not performed yet with that would be on like your bucket lists?
like as in opening for or
Just to share the stage with. Or
Rob
yeah,
Zombie.
Rob Zombie.
Rob Zombie, yeah. He is one of my favorite all-time performers. And I haven't had the chance to tour with him, and I would absolutely love to. He is my favorite of all time. So I think he would be an absolute blast. I think Rammstein would be really fun too, just for the sake of all the fire. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be cool.
But yeah, definitely Rob Zombie.
Are you going to be going out with him soon on tour?
Not that I'm aware of.
You're not going to be a support for him on one of the festivals?
Not that I know of. I don't know who's headlining our festivals yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What kind of coverage do you like from your shows? Like the pictures and different things. What do you like to see that people gather from your shows?
Oh man. I mean, it's all great, I would say. Depending on the photographer, the photos could be really great, or they could be like, whoa, I have to give photographers a lot of credit, man, because photographing live events with all the lighting changes and strobes and flash and the movement of the performer, depending on how fast they move, like we're all over the place. We're always moving. So action shots can be a nightmare. You're always in a really awkward position, or you're doing this weird thing with your chin, and like it could just go wrong in a million ways. So live concert photographers that get it right, kudos to them, because when they get it right, it looks so good.
Yeah.
I love live photography pictures. Yeah. But they're just hard to make look good. So yeah, I would say that over everything else.
I try to make sure that if I post pictures, it doesn't have any kind of weird faces or anything being done.
Yeah.
I got that advice from a lady one time. She was like, don't shoot me like this angle. And I was like, okay.
See, and you're already at a disadvantage because you're below, right? And this is like the worst angle ever for anybody.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's an art form in itself, for sure.
Yeah, if I can, I like to get out in the crowd and shoot from the crowd too, to get farther away from the stage, so it's not just directly above me.
Yeah. I like that too. Wide open, wide lens.
Yeah. So how do you react when people, like I saw something on your Twitter that someone said they wouldn't come to your show or bring their kids to their show because you were licking fire?
Yes.
How do you handle that? Because I know as a kid, as a parent with kids in high school, that you licking fire is not the worst thing they will ever see just from school.
I think if somebody has an issue with me licking the flame of fire, they probably have bigger things to worry about in their lives. You know,
Yeah,
like if that's your tipping point, that's your tipping point. There's a bigger thing at play, my friend, and it's not about that.
yeah,
You know, and that was kind of my reaction is and I think after that I posted a photo. So it's a very common thing for like Polynesian perform dancers when they perform with fire, they lick the flame, and it's not, and typically it's usually men I see that do it with their staffs. That's obviously not a sexualized thing, right?
right.
And why do we do that? We do it because it's dangerous and it makes everybody go, oh my God, that's fire on their mouth, you know? So I don't know if that's because I'm a woman and now it's sexualized. Um, I don't know if it's because I'm wearing, you know, essentially a bodysuit, right? And fishnets, even though the male that was doing it in the picture I posted was topless.
Yeah,
You know, I just see a lot of double standards. Um, and I think it's important to open these discussions because it really it does exist in the world where I can do something and all of a sudden it's, oh, I can't let my child see this, but this person can do it and it's fine.
right.
Um, and I've seen that a lot in what we do. And so I think it's important to bring it to light and, you know, show how preposterous it is.
Exactly. And I agree. And that's kind of why I asked you, because I see that a lot too. And I don't understand why people would do that just because you're a woman. I mean, you're performing the same act. It's just your act. It's not, you're not trying to sexualize anything.
Right. I would call it misogyny.
Yeah.
That's what I would call it. I would say it's coming from a place of misogyny, and that can come from women too, you know?
Yeah. How do you prepare yourself to do something like that? Because you breathe fire too, right?
I do.
Yeah.
How do you prepare yourself to do it? Like how to learn it?
Yes. How did you
Um,
learn to do that from being a dancer to playing with fire?
so one of my performers who's been with me for 8 years, been with me the longest, she used to be a magician's assistant. Her name is Constance Palmer. And she would eat fire and perform with fire for the magician she was assisting for many years ago. And when I brought her on to Cherry Bombs, she started teaching me fire immediately. And it was just something that I felt comfortable with and something I caught on quickly with. And I just kept learning more and learning more and learning more. And she was kind of my first teacher, my guide into doing it. And so, yeah, that's how.
That's awesome.
Thanks.
So at the show, are you the main attraction, or do you guys all share the stage together, or does it kind of take turns and do it with whoever's doing the certain act of the performance at that time?
Um, I am not the main attraction. I think in this show, well, in this headlining show, I have a solo now. So I'm doing a flamenco routine to Creeping Death by Metallica.
Oh wow.
Um, yeah, thanks. But the other girls have solos too, right? So we have, you know, an aerial solo and we have a pole solo and so on and so forth. I always try to highlight all the individual performers at some point. So in our show and group pieces, you'll see a different performer in the front and center for all of them because I really try and share the stage and the performing time amongst all of them because I think they're all great and they're all strong and they're all awesome at what they do and they all should be highlighted in different ways. So in a lot of the group routines, you'll see me in the back. I don't have to be like front and center in the spotlight. Like, and in fact, I'm actually kind of getting to a point in my career where I'm starting to pull back a lot from performing and I'm starting to, you know, gracefully, hopefully bow out of it and just let them run and keep the brand going without me.
That's what I was going to ask you, is if you would eventually go away from the performing and just be like, maybe you're the tour manager or the head of it, and
Yeah.
you write the stories or something
Yeah.
like that, and you kind of do it from the side and let your girls do the
Yeah.
performing and you're just the head.
That's the goal. That's absolutely the goal. Look, I don't want to be that woman that can't let go of it, you know? Like I don't want to be that. When your time's up, you should just gracefully bow out, you know, just admit it and just be like, you know what, this, if I can't give you the show that you guys deserve, it's done. And you know, I'm getting to the point now, I kind of mentioned it earlier, like I'm having some neck issues, I'm having you know, a lot of like pain issues, and it sucks, man, but it's just I'm not a spring chicken anymore, like let's get real. And and so I'm okay with that. And I enjoy seeing them do what they do. I think one year I was really injured. I had injured my ankle and I couldn't perform for like 9 months. And I got to watch them and I felt so proud of them just watching them. I felt like a dance mom.
Right.
And yeah, I was like, yes. And even though I wasn't out there with them, I still felt a part of it, you know, because to me, they're like my daughters. I call them all my kids. Like I've got 13 daughters. And I to see them all do what they do and see them shine and do so well at it, that gives me so much happiness. That gives me as much happiness as I get when I perform myself.
Right.
So yeah, I am getting to that point where I'm going to be done here pretty soon, and I'm totally okay with that.
Yeah. That's really awesome. And I can see where you know, you're like the dance mom, so you're proud of them, and you know, you're helping them learn and grow, and you get to see
Yeah.
them and see the reactions of the fans, so you get to sit back and take it in too, because that's your brainchild that you came up with.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. And I I'm happy as long as I'm contributing in a positive way to this company. So, you know, even if it's just helping them get ready or do a quick change on the side or hand them their props, you know, I'm happy to do that too. And I just love to be part of a team. Um and I'm happy being behind the scenes and then writing the shows and being the creative director and you know making sure again that they're taken care of and all that stuff. So I want the brand to continue on. It should continue on without me. And yeah, who knows where it'll go.
That's really awesome. Sounds like you have a really good team and a really good plan ahead of you.
Thank you. I do have a very good team. I can't say it enough, man. I'm so lucky. I get asked all the time, like, isn't it hard working with a bunch of girls? Like, you guys are all on a bus together. And, you know, no, we have no drama. It's the easiest thing working together. The only drama we've ever had is with outside sources outside of our close knit camp. It's always external, or it's somebody that comes along and joins us and doesn't pull their weight like everyone else does.
Right.
And then that gets shut out real quick.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, because you have to have everyone doing everything they need to do to make it run properly.
Yeah, yeah, it really is a team effort because you know, we don't have a bunch of crew and we don't have, you know, there's performers I know that won't lift a finger. Like they won't load in and they won't load out. They won't do anything. And that's just not how we roll. It's hard. Our group is really hard. We're not dancers in that. So like in the dance industry with like dance production teams and dance agents, those are much different types of shows and gigs where dancers aren't typically like the main attraction. They're like maybe they're backup dancers for an artist or they're dancers on a set for something. And those already have like built-in crews. But with our industry in the rock and metal world and this live concert scene, we're kind of trailblazing in this industry as a new type of act in it. So
Hmm.
we're actually treated like a band.
Okay.
Yeah, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because it probably makes you feel more safe knowing that you set it up, you and your team set it up because y'all are all trained together. You know how everything goes, and you don't have to worry about did this person do this because you know that your team's going to do it correctly.
Yes. So, and you know, I even told Griff this too. You know, you're going out and you're a singer, but it's really important that you understand how your equipment works, how everything works, because knowledge really is power. If you ever get in a pickle, you want to be able to fix it and fix it fast and not rely on someone else or have something not get done or not get done right just because you don't know how to.
Right.
You can always learn something. That's never going to be an issue. So just have the knowledge and have that support. It can't hurt you. It's never a bad idea to gain more education in something.
Right. I
Yeah.
completely agree. I'm
Yeah.
always trying to learn new stuff all the time.
Yeah. It's so important to be resourceful
Yeah.
because I just see so little of it these days.
Yeah, it's a dying breed.
It is. Yeah. Yeah.
So, well, I won't keep you much longer. I know you're tired. You've been probably rehearsing all day in interviews for the last week.
Oh, that's okay. It's part of the job. I appreciate it though.
Yeah. I look forward to seeing you on Sunday.
Yes,
I'm really looking
absolutely.
forward to that.
Good.
And
I'm glad you're coming. I'll say hi to you after the show. I'd love to get your thoughts and your wife's thoughts on
okay.
it. I hope you guys enjoy it.
I will
And
be doing pictures.
you will? Okay, cool.
Yes.
Awesome.
So
Yep.
I don't want to, I don't know. Because you said Rob Zombie's your favorite,
Yeah.
right? So have you seen his newest album, The Lunar Eclipse?
So I took a listen when it first came out,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like I need to reserve my opinion until I dig in a little deeper.
Yeah. Well, the cover photo on his album is mine.
Is it?
Yeah, I took it of him.
Oh my goodness.
So
That's
he is
awesome.
he is very fast and all over the place. So I know I'm gonna hope I can get some good shots of you guys because that
Well,
dude
he
never
runs
stops.
all over the place. So if you can get a good shot of him, you're gonna be fine with us.
So
But
I'm hoping I
it
get
will
some
be
good
cool.
ones. Okay.
Good. I look forward to seeing them. I can't wait. I hope
Yeah.
you enjoy shooting it, and I hope you get some good shots in there.
Thank you. I think I will. And yeah, I'll stick around and try to see if I can meet you and say hello, and we'll tell you what we think.
Yeah, man, I'll be around. So please come find me. Say hello. I'd love to meet you and your wife.
Okay. And thank you very much for taking the time for this interview.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You too.